Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I recognize some names, so hey, thank you guys for your support. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley Smith, formerly Alwater, and I am the owner of Social Jargn, a social media marketing company here in Rapid City. And what I do is I help entrepreneurs, small business owners, nonprofit organizations with their social media marketing. So I can help take with every element just to make your social media work. That includes copywriting, photos, video, strategy, or I can do pieces of it. I also offer training. So yeah, I do I do quite a bit, but social media is my first marketing love. I would just want to say thank you to Elevate Rapid City for hosting these virtual trainings. These are just so awesome. And I really hope and encourage that they continue these after Rapid City is able to reopen, just because I think it's a valuable tool. I think it's a great opportunity to learn some new things and be exposed to some other small businesses and entrepreneurs. Be sure that if you haven't liked their Facebook page yet, to go ahead and like their Facebook page. You'll also be able to see upcoming virtual trainings on their events. And they're also posting these replays on their YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and search for Elevate Rapid City, be sure that you subscribe and ring the notification bell. What that does is you'll be notified of every single video that they upload when that goes up. And there's all the virtual trainings along with other information that they're sharing with the community. So today what I'm going to be talking about is all about your personal brand and what exactly as a professional, not just after COVID-19. Oh, hold on, I got a message that my internet is not stable, but we're gonna keep going. um, But social media really is an incredible thing. And honestly, it started, and Facebook launched in 2004. So whenever it's starting to act up, I explain to people, Facebook is a teenager. It's going through some rebellious stages right now. But it started to supplement the real life relationships we have and to build new relationships online. Um, and a lot of us use that. And if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you also use it for marketing. But very few people are really understanding how powerful social media can be from a professional perspective. So that's what we're going forward with today. And the first thing I want to do actually is show you a video from Eric Qualman. This is available on YouTube, and he calls it the digital transformation video. He hasn't released a 2021 yet, so this is 2019. I'm going to start to play this, but Rachel, will you let me know in the chat if you can even hear it? And if you can't hear it, what I will do is I will share the link with you guys, so that way you can visit it, just because this really does show the power of social media, and it's beyond just Rapid City, and it's beyond the Black Hills, and it's beyond South Dakota. And we'll start it from the beginning. How about that? Okay. So yeah, pretty cool, right? So the things that stood out for me were, of course, we don't have a choice on whether or not we digitally transform. It's just how well we do it, right? I mean, it's here. Technology, the internet, social media, it's here. It's not going away anytime soon. And if anything, it's continuing to evolve and grow. So that one was really big for me. The other one that stood out were the world populations. And another one that stood out to me were um, goldfish have an attention span of human 7 seconds. Now I want you to understand that YouTube ads are 5 seconds long for a reason. So, whoa, we already watched that. Okay, so vintage social networking. The biggest thing that I want to explain to people is that social media is just traditional, quote unquote, old school tactics that are now in digital format. You know, you've got this graphic is a little old because I mean, these platforms have developed immensely more than when this first went out. I mean, Facebook is more than just your contacts and your addresses now. That's at 100% evident. Real quick, I do have a quick video just that I want to share with you again, since the sound is working, and just want to know how many of you can kind of relate to this as you're getting ready to go online and share your personal brand and your story and who you are.
By the way, my street name is K-Spa.
K-Spa. You know, does that have anything to do? Is that like a Twitter kind of a deal? Because I don't know anything about the Twitter, but I'm just guessing.
I am on Twitter. My business partner basically made me drink the Kool-Aid. So I'm on Twitter now. I've been on for about 3 months.
So does it cost you money to be on Twitter?
No, it doesn't cost you money.
Well, I don't know how you. I don't know how it works.
A penny for every letter. So expensive, Dave.
I don't know anything.
Why are you on Twitter?
No, I don't know. I can't afford it. I don't know anything about the Twitter.
I am on Twitter. In fact, I could Twitter right now.
Now, right now you could launch this and it would go. Where would that go?
All over the world.
Really?
Yeah. I've been on now 3 months, and I have people follow you, or you can follow people. I have over 800,000 people following me. Now, right now, Dave, what would you like to say to 800,000 people? Because you never get that many watching you at night.
I wish my dog was here. I don't even have a dog. Well, just I'm curious.
What would you like to say?
How much does it cost?
I'm going to give you the summer special.
Just hi, kids.
Dave says hi.
Now you have to do that with your thumbs.
You are not only the cheapest man in show business, you're the laziest man in show business.
Now, but when I learned to type, I used all 10 digits you would type with. And that's how I type, and so I'm not going to
I'm using thumb. Now, see, Dave says hi on Letterman, updating, sending your tweet.
Now, where does that go?
It goes all over. Anyone who's following me in the audience. Success.
Right. So that was it?
That's it. And now I'll get, in about an hour, lots and lots of people saying hi back. From all over the world.
That really is a miracle.
People that don't even get your show.
I can go out here to 53rd and Broadway and get people to say hi to me. I don't need any of this. Hey, Dave! Hey! Is it fun? Is it because a lot of those activities can be addictive? And
Well,
you find yourself addicted.
it is fun, although there is, I guess, I'm learning slowly that there is a Twitter etiquette. People don't like it. I guess this is also true with emails and texts. They don't like it when you capitalize.
Why not?
Because they think you're yelling at them.
Well, that's stupid.
I know.
Yeah.
And they also don't like the exclamation point. If you overuse that, and sometimes humor gets really lost.
Right.
Like John Stamos. You know John Stamos? He's been on the show, hasn't he?
I think so.
Never?
Yeah, I think he has. I feel like
Stamos got on Twitter recently, and I was making a joke because he was having a little difficult time learning how to use his thumbs and how much it cost.
kind of testy about the whole thing, isn't it?
And so I sent him a tweet that said, John, have you already managed to block yourself? Because you can block people if you don't want to have them follow you.
I see.
And literally within an hour, thousands of people saying, oh, be kind to John. Come on. He's new on Twitter. And it's like, I was making a joke with a friend of mine. Calm down, you tweets.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? I'm thinking of it reminds me a little of, oh yeah, a waste of time.
Okay, so that video was way in the early days of Twitter. Twitter has evolved a little bit since then, but the point really is every social media network you are on is part of your personal brand. It can be part of your personal brand and part of your professional reputation and how to help you build your career. Whoop. Let's go. Offline outlets. Okay, where you can build your personal brand as well. Your existing memberships to clubs, activities. I have just talking to people and letting people know at my gym what I do. And I've had a lot of support and conversation with those people who are entrepreneurs and referrals. Nonprofit organizations. Find something that speaks to your heart, something that you're passionate about. If you're starting to build up new skills or building a portfolio, it's a great way to contribute and show your talents for however amount of time that you're able to contribute those to help build your reputation, build connections, and also build your resume. This slide is not updated. I apologize. But the Young Professional Elevate, I believe the Elevate Young Professionals group, and of course, Elevate Rapid City. There's also Networking's Not Natural seminars that they've done in the past, and I'm hoping that they will continue to do those when we are able to open back up. But those can kind of help you with the offline portion of it, because really, what your personal brand is it's the characteristics of your reputation. You are who you say you are. So who are you? Your online persona matters, and significantly more now than it has ever been. In 2006, just 12% of hiring managers were using social media accounts as a screening tool. By 2010, that figure had grown to 25%, and now it stands at 70%. Hiring managers cited the 3 turnoffs were provocative and inappropriate content, posts about drinking or drugs, and discriminatory comments. So, will companies really take the time to look at your? Absolutely. If you are an individual looking to be hired at a company, a recent study by the Society for Human Resource Management, or SHRM, found that 84% of employers recruit via social media. 43% of employers screen job applicants through social media networks and search engines. 36% of companies have actually disqualified job candidates after doing an online search or viewing an applicant's social media. People want to know who they're going to work or who they're going to hire, and small business owners and entrepreneurs, and they want to know who they're going to be working with. 19% of interviewers didn't like the show off of wealth or big purchases by job applicants. 16% didn't like photos where candidates were dressed in revealing outfits. How those of you who are on here saying, well, I just won't be on social media, or I'll lock everything down and make it private, it can actually hurt you. 12% of recruiters thought that limited social media presence meant that the person was not dynamic enough. So it's kind of it's kind of a fine line that you have to walk here. But that's really what's happening is people, your personal brand is your reputation. It's the characteristics of your reputation. You know, we all have our best friend, and we can talk about our best friend. My best friend, he is in the United States military. He's active duty Air Force. He and his wife live in Hawaii. Ooh, so sad. They have a 10-year-old daughter, but he's funny. He has attention to detail. He's reliable. He's dependable. He's someone that you can easily talk to. I know that he's quiet and a little bit more introverted than I am, but that's part of his personal brand. That I know of him as a friend. And you also have a professional personal brand. Being a small business owner and an entrepreneur and a networker for the last, oh gosh, I've been doing this probably for 8 years now. Yeah, 8 years in July. One of the takeaways that I have for people, you know, when I am looking at a networking group or I'm going into a networking group, one of the challenges that I've always had is, well, I know 5 real estate agents, and I know 5 in financial advisors, and I know 3 healthcare facilities, and I know 12 doctors, and you know, who do you refer people to, right? Well, what I do is I use people's personal brand to match them with their best fit, right? So if I know so-and-so is a entrepreneur, really family oriented, and is on, you know, clean eating and nutrition and everything like that, and that I then refer her to a match. If she comes up to me and says, hey, I'm looking for a gym, this is kind of what I'm looking for, then I find her the right match. But I won't know that match unless I have a personal brand to, or I know someone's personal brand to refer them to. It's what people are saying about you. This next slide is where you can be online. All the different social media networks. LinkedIn and Indeed are professional online resume, work connection, social media sites. Some tips here: incorporate keywords and key phrases when you're writing, when in your posts, and when you're developing your online profile. It's a really dynamic. So add any visuals that you can. If you've done a presentation, if you have helped with a newsletter, if you wrote an article somewhere, if you've done a video, this is a great place to add those things, because recruiters and other people who are looking to connect to you can see your work. It's a great space to add that electronic portfolio. I get asked all the time, hey, can I see some of your previous work? Because what I do is so dynamic and it's constantly updating. I do screenshots, YouTube videos, PowerPoint presentations, blog examples, things like that. And you can throw them on LinkedIn. You can throw them on Indeed. Facebook is the most popular social media network on the internet, even though it's for quote unquote old people. I'm 33. I love Facebook. I'm not old. I refuse to be old. I saw a post this morning about 57 was supposedly the quote unquote age for being old. And someone commented, no, you're only old when you act old. And I completely agree with that, 1000%. Instagram is the second highest populated platform. They were purchased by Facebook on April 2nd of 2012. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. Google owns YouTube. Snapchat is more of a personal platform. And the only thing I have there for anyone is Snapchat, even though the big thing was disappearing messages, they don't truly disappear. there's also screenshots that can happen. So just be mindful when being on the internet. Twitter has more of a national reach and interaction scope than necessarily users here in Rapid. But it's a great place to research other companies that you want to work for or work with. It's a great place for news. I know our mayor and the police department are very, very active on there, and as well as our local news teams. So that's a great place to go. And then TikTok is new. Huge for influencers, huge for solo entrepreneurs. It's starting to be taken seriously, but there's a lot of concern over security risks and the fact that the app is tracking keystrokes outside of the app. So you're on TikTok, you have it installed on your phone, you close the app, but then you go to your bank's website or something like that. I'm still trying to find confirmation about TikTok being able to copy or follow what you're typing in, even though you're not inside the app. So that's just a heads up, just something to think about if you've got kiddos or teens. Just something to ponder. Also, the extreme version is you could develop your own professional website. You can go online, go to GoDaddy, purchase your own domain, add that to your resume, and have that be where you showcase all of your work, and even possibly start a blog. Start sharing your expertise and proving that you are the subject matter expert, or you are the person that a company should hire. That is an extreme because that's a paid version. There are some free alternatives, but for the majority of it, you'd be looking at paid. So digital dirt. All right, this is what I call it. We all have some information that maybe we don't want the rest of the world to know. Maybe we just only want our close friends. And so that's something that, I've tried to explain to my kiddos, hey, not everything needs to go online, but some things that you should do are use your privacy settings appropriately. For example, my Facebook account is private unless you're one of my friends. And there are a few occasional things that I will post publicly just because I think that it is something that everyone should know about. An example would be with the current environment and things like that, submitting comments to the city council during the council meetings, providing that link and making that public. Something good going on in the world. Black Hills Energy were doing their free trees for Arbor Day and Earth Day on the 22nd. There might be some available, so go check that out. But understand your digital footprint and how it can impact your job. We have several local case studies, and for privacy reasons, I'm not going to disclose those businesses. But there's a lot of, you need to understand how social media can impact your job. Business has a social media policy in place for employees, which shameless self-plug. I am doing a talk on that for businesses on May 1st, so be on coming up. But there are examples of an employee was on Facebook making racial slurs and racial comments on a news station. He lost his job. A small business owner was not very graceful in a misunderstanding with a neighbor, and it exploded online. It exploded on Facebook, and she ended up being the target of a lot of harassment because of what people thought was unethical and wrong behavior. There's been misunderstandings about businesses discriminating against people with disabilities or their race and else. So it's not, and these are organizations that are here in Rapid City. It's not And these are people here in Rapid City. It's not in larger communities. It's not in big cities. It's not Denver or Minneapolis. It's here in Rapid. So please be mindful of what you're posting personally, because, and understand how that can impact your employment. You know, I think that's really important. And I don't see anyone here in this room who like, they haven't thought of this before, but it's just, you know, part of this presentation for it. Some common sense, you know, do you want your grandma to see what you just posted? You know, I mean, you kind of think about it like that, because you build a reputation. You don't see these people every day. You don't talk or interact with some people every single day. But if you're posting every single day, you're going to start getting. And do you want that reputation to be based upon positivity and expertise in your field and professionalism? Or do you want that people to associate with you with negativity and crude comments and closed-minded, you know, negative traits, things like that? Own your identity is my advice, including the consequences that come with that. I know a lot of people don't post about religion. They don't post about politics. They don't give negative reviews. All of that stuff is trackable. So just something to think about the next time you want to comment on something, is that if it's on a public page, your name is there and people will see that. Keep it clean. You know, what you say online, you might as well say it with a megaphone in a crowded space in front of the person you're talking about. Delete is not an actual option for digital dirt. People will do screenshots. And this is on the nasty end, you guys. Like I've worked with some politicians. And so I'm just like, you gotta be mindful of it. Keep your sensitive information off of social media. Don't be posting your kiddos or yourself with a new driver's license, anything with your address, anything with the credit card, social security number, bank statement, letters. I mean, it's probably really common, but image screening technology has, you know, it's amazing, really, but it has become so developed and so advanced where, you know, Facebook can tell, you know, whether or not you're posting a weapon. Facebook can tell if there's too many words in your Facebook app. Like, just keep it off. You know, there's a lot of people and that are social engineers. And so right now there's been a lot of, you know, things of games of, you know, what was your, post a picture of your first car. You know, let me know what your favorite color is. What was your first job? Where would you have your dream vacation? Where do you want to go when we get out of this? Now, while they're probably harmless, interactive questions, they're also very, very similar to the questions that are asked for financial institutions for identity validation. So just that's my little PSI on social media security. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you're posting. What do you want to represent? What do you want people to say about you? And how are you going to project that, and how are you going to show that, you know, I am a professional expert in my field that likes to have fun and has a good sense of humor, that's reliable and gets the job done. That's what I want people to think of when they see me and they look at my professional stuff. I want them to look at my resume and my portfolios and go, wow, that's impressive. And then when they see my social media, I want them to look at it and go, she's a good human. She's a good person. So that is all I have for you guys about personal brand. Do you have any questions for me? How can TikTok be used to market your business? So TikTok is the history with that is, it used to be a company called Musical.ly. It is a China owned, it's a Chinese app the developers and the company and the people who own it are in China. And so what it is it's music videos, it's singing videos, it's goofy, fun video stuff. So, you know, things that let's see, what was it called? Was it the Harlem Shake or the dance or the I was part of this trend and I can't remember what it's called because it was in 2013. But yeah, I think it was the Harlem Shake and things like that. If you go on the platform, you can see some other people who are just killing it with content. Netflix is a great one to follow. I'm not a fan of the Jonas Brothers, but I do like their TikTok. And that's really what it is when you're wanting to jump into a social media platform. You really do have to play with it. You really do have to get in there and see it because the behaviors of the community are going to vary between each platform. For example, if you go on Facebook and post 10 times in a minute, people are going to ignore you. Whereas on Twitter, that's totally acceptable. That kind of thing. So TikTok, really what that is it's a great generator for sales leads for your sales funnel, as well as generating conversations. So I've seen a lot of solo entrepreneurs and people who want to talk about the business that they launched or anything like that. You know, they post a little dance video. There's ones where they're point at the screen and new information pops up each time. I mean, I will give TikTok this. The video editing tools on that thing are freaking amazing and I love them. And I wish they were on Instagram or Facebook stories because they are really good. So what that messaging does is saying, hey, this is my content. This is what I'm talking about. If you want more information, go check my website. So same kind of strategy and same method as you would on any other social media platform for your business. It's just the type of content and the way that it's delivered is different and it varies with each platform. Does that help answer the question, Rachel? What's the balance of advertising your business? You also have some personal information about you or your family so people feel connected. Good, I answered the TikTok question. That is a personal preference. I guess I don't. Probably because I have teenagers and nobody wants to take their picture. Or they're like, no, that's embarrassing. But it really is a fine line. Based upon, you know, what do you feel comfortable with? I have been active on social media since 2006. I actually started my career at the Convention and Visitors Bureau for Rapid City, or Visit Rapid City, in 2012, and I've been doing it ever since. I mean, my maiden name, if you Google Ashley Allwater, I'm the first 5 pages of Google. And like talk about brand recognition, right? I'm gonna have I'm in the process of a rebrand with Smith. It's a little bit harder to find me, which is a good and a bad thing. But you know, something that it's just kind of common sense safety kind of, and evaluating that risk personally. You know, are you going to be out of town? Have you been posting pictures of your house and then you're out of town and somebody's watching, you know, that kind of thing. As far as feeling connected, yes, absolutely. You want, and not only that, but you want to celebrate those good things. You know, our oldest will be graduating high school next month. He's my husband's daughter. He's older than I am. So I didn't have a baby very that young. But you know, and that's one of those things where it's going to be a post along the lines of her. I mean, she's 18 and I'll make her pose because it's her graduation, but it's one of those of congratulating her and congratulating the rest of the high school seniors and acknowledging the struggles that the students and teachers have been going through over the last couple months. That's something that I feel comfortable with. And it really depends on what your business does. If you are your business, like I am my business, what I do on a daily basis is relevant. But if you own a, let's see, if you owned a, I don't know, a cell phone repair store, and you are posting what you ate for lunch every day, that's not really relevant. You know, that's not really relevant. Um, I hope that gives some brainstorming ideas and some thought as to that. How often should a business post on Facebook and LinkedIn? So Facebook, here's what I do. Uh, you got to watch it, and you need to be consistent. So I recommend with what I actually do for my clients is we do plan postings 1 month in advance. And that's anywhere between 16 and 20 postings for the month, or an average of 3 to 4, possibly 5 posts per week that are predetermined. They're pre-planned, they're pre-scripted, they're all ready to go. But it's not in, you know, cast in stone or anything like that. We change things around constantly. We add another post when it's necessary. And you kind of want to watch the activity level. If you have a really high performing post on Facebook, maybe you don't want to post anything right away. Let that good performing post that's getting you reach and engagement, let it ride for a little bit. But then make note of that. Why did that perform so well? Was it a picture of the team? Those are always going to perform. Selfies, pictures of the team, animals, food. If it's relevant to your business and to your message, use it. But yeah, I recommend at least 3 to 4 times a week in your feed. Your Facebook stories are more forgiving. You can post absolutely anything as frequently as you want with stories is the current recommendation. You can get more strategic with that, absolutely. But you don't necessarily have to worry about the amount on your stories. They disappear after 24 hours as of right now anyway. As far as LinkedIn goes, same kind of concept. And for a business, for your company page, it's going to be a little different because people who are on LinkedIn are looking for jobs, and they're looking as an employer. So if things as a company page, because you can have a company page just like you can have a business page on Facebook, that's where news articles go, press releases, anything more traditional media related would necessarily go on LinkedIn as you're building it up. Also any kind of essentially what I'm saying is the funny meme that you might post on Facebook, on your Facebook business page, might not necessarily go on your LinkedIn company page, if that helps. As your personal LinkedIn, the best times to post are between Monday and Friday during regular office hours. I will say, because I have a huge network of small entrepreneurs, I feel like I'm the exception. I can post on Saturday and still do okay. And LinkedIn gives you the unique option for your personal profile to be able to see how many views you got on your post. So that is unique to LinkedIn. But it's one of those where, and LinkedIn's algorithm is still a little antiquated at this point. Microsoft purchased them 2013, I think, and they're working on updates and making things that are funnily similar to Facebook and how that populates. But you know, I would say as long as you're not treating it like Twitter, you're good. And part of it is you also want to be mindful of future content. So if you have 10 great posts and you post them all in one day, well, what are you going to post tomorrow? So kind of watch and monitor how the conversation is going, but have some of those planned, some of that planned content as well. It'll help you when you have the busy days and you can't get to it. Questions? Okay, well, I am going to extend this offer. If you have questions, comments, I would appreciate feedback. I think that Rachel would also appreciate feedback. Let me know if this was helpful. If you learned anything, that's always that somebody learned something. This is my contact information. That is me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. I also have my website and email, and that is my cell phone. So all I ask is that you let me know who you are, so I can connect the dots. If you feel so inclined, please send me a connection on LinkedIn. I think that would be awesome. And if you think of any other questions or have comments, I look forward to hearing from them. So thanks for joining me today.